The music swells low and heavy, teasing something is coming. Fade to black. A single line of text glows across the screen. A world without Spider-Man is broken. The screen fades back in. We see Peter Parker walking down a crowded street in New York. The crowd moves around him, faces blurred, no one noticing him. He clutches a backpack, head down, blending into the noise of the city. The camera follows him from behind as if the world is moving quickly, but Peter is stuck in slow motion. His shoes drag, his shoulders slump. He looks like an ordinary young man lost in the chaos, but the faint outline of his old Spider-Man mask peeks out from the torn zipper of his bag, cut to a diner window. Peter sits alone in a booth, staring at a cold cup of coffee. Around him, people laugh, eat, talk. He smiles faintly at a couple nearby, but quickly looks away. His reflection in the window stares back at him. Lonely and tired. Close-up. Peter watching news on the diner's TV. A report of rising gang wars, robberies, and masked criminals fills the screen. A shaky phone video shows a robbery in progress, victims screaming, and bystanders running. The reporter's words sting. Since Spider-Man's disappearance, the city has been left vulnerable. Peter lowers his gaze. His hand trembles slightly, gripping the mug tighter. His knuckles whiten. Cut to Peter walking home at night through dimly lit streets. Shadows stretch across the walls, and graffiti of Spider-Man's symbol appears faintly on brick. Someone has spray-painted a broken spider logo with the words, "Where are you?" He stops. His eyes linger on it. His breathing slows. For a moment he reaches for his bag, touching the zipper where the mask hides. But he shakes his head, pulls the hoodie tighter, and keeps walking. The sound of footsteps echoes behind him. Quick cuts, Peter glancing back. A group of masked thugs following, laughing, carrying bats and chains. Peter tries to ignore them, walking faster. They corner him in a dead-end alley. One thug sneers, "What's in the bag, man?" Another swings a chain against a wall, sparks flying. Peter keeps calm, trying not to fight, not to reveal himself. He simply mutters, "Leave me alone." They shove him. He stumbles, holding back. For a moment, the camera lingers on his clenched fist, the strength hidden beneath the surface. But he resists. He takes the beating, falling to the ground, his bag thrown aside. The mask nearly slips out. One thug picks it up, laughing, not realizing what it is. Suddenly, police sirens cut through the night. The thugs scatter. Peter lies there in the dirt, breathing heavily, staring at the mask now half covered in dust. He picks it up slowly, brushing it clean, staring at it in the glow of a flickering street lamp. His eyes burn with conflict. Cut to black. Text fades onto the screen. He gave up everything to save everyone. Music swells louder, rising like a heartbeat. Asterisk, the screen fades in from darkness. A storm brews over Manhattan, thunder rolling across the skyline, lightning flashing between tall buildings. The city glows in patches of neon and broken streetlights, but under the surface, something darker stirs. Quick montage. A jewelry store smashed open, alarms screaming, police arriving too late. A city councilman hustled into a car by bodyguards, only for the vehicle to explode seconds later. A mother pulling her child away from gunfire in Times Square. The camera cuts to shadows moving across rooftops, organized men in high-tech armor, masks glowing red, carrying weapons too advanced for street gangs. They move with precision, like soldiers. The streets below echo with fear. Inside a dim warehouse, we glimpse the mastermind. The shot is slow, deliberate. The figure is massive, shoulders filling the frame, wearing a sharp black suit. His face hidden in the shadows, only his broad silhouette against the glow of computer screens. On the monitors, maps of New York, gang symbols, blueprints of skyscrapers. The villain's voice rumbles, deep and commanding. "New York belongs to me now. Spider-Man is gone, and no one will stop us." Cut to Peter Parker, watching news reports flicker across a tiny TV in his small apartment. The reporter's words hit hard. A new wave of violence has taken over Manhattan. Police are overwhelmed. Citizens ask the same question, "Where is Spider-Man?" Peter leans forward, his hands covering his face. His walls are bare, his apartment nearly empty, no photos, no reminders of his past life. He is a ghost in his own city. His phone vibrates on the counter. He ignores it. The world is reaching for him, but he refuses to reach back. Suddenly, outside his window, the sound of chaos explodes. Screeching tires, screaming voices, gunfire. Peter rushes to the fire escape, peering down. A convoy of armored trucks barrels down the street, masked men hanging off the sides, spraying bullets at pursuing police cars. Civilians scatter, ducking behind cars and trash bins. The camera focuses on one little girl frozen in the middle of the street, clutching her doll, unable to move as a truck roars toward her. Peter doesn't think. His body moves before his mind does. He leaps from the fire escape, landing hard on the street. He sprints forward, scooping the girl into his arms just as the truck swerves past, nearly clipping them. The camera slows, showing the terror in her eyes, the determination in his. He hands her to her crying mother, who looks at him with confusion. Just another stranger who saved her child. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't remember. The sting of anonymity cuts deep. The trucks disappear into the night, leaving fire and shattered glass behind. Police sirens fade. Peter stands in the street, fists clenched, staring at the chaos. His eyes dart to his bag, to the mask hidden inside. His breathing quickens, chest rising and falling, but he hesitates. He steps back into the shadows, pulling up his hood. He vanishes into the alley like a man running from himself. The camera shifts back to the warehouse. The villain, still half hidden, watches news footage of the attack, smirking. He turns toward his men, towering over them. His voice thunders. This is only the beginning. The city has no hero anymore, no one to protect them. By the time anyone dares to fight back, it will already be mine. The screen cuts to black, silence. Then, a single faint sound, the thwip of a web-dash shooter. The music rises, heavy and urgent with a pulse like a racing heart. On-screen text fades in. But New York still needs Spider-Man. Asterisk, the screen opens with silence. Peter's apartment is dim, the only light coming from the glow of a cracked lamp on his desk. The mask lies in front of him, scarred, the colors faded, dust gathered in its cracks. His hands hover over it, trembling. He exhales sharply, his reflection staring back from its empty lenses. Cut to flash images. Peter's memories. Aunt May's final words. MJ's smile fading as the spell took her memories. Ned laughing in the school hallways, no longer knowing him. The city crying out, "Where is Spider-Man?" The silence is broken by distant screams echoing through the streets outside. Peter's head snaps up, his jaw tightens. His fingers curl around the mask, music swells slowly, strings building with tension. We see Peter unzip a worn duffel bag, pulling out pieces of an unfinished suit, scraps of fabric, bent web cartridges, pieces of armor. The camera cuts close to his hands, stitching, repairing, and reforging. Sparks fly as he welds a web shooter. A single droplet of sweat runs down his temple, lit by the glow of a desk lamp. The music rises higher. His movements become faster, more determined. He pulls on the gloves, tightening them with force. The boots slide on, scarred but sturdy. A sleek new chest piece snaps into place. Glowing faintly with a modified spider emblem, sharper, brighter, a live dot cut to a rooftop at night. Rain lashes down against the skyline, thunder booming above. The camera pans slowly upward to reveal Spider-Man standing tall at the ledge. The new suit gleams under flashes of lightning, water dripping from its edges. He adjusts his mask, and for the first time in years, it feels right. Then, the thwip. A web shoots out into the storm. Spider-Man leaps from the rooftop, soaring into the night. The camera follows him through the city as he swings gracefully, the rain streaking across the lens, neon signs glowing below. The streets roar to life as the red and blue figure returns, darting through the skyline. Montage begins. Spider-Man, saving civilians trapped in a collapsing bus, pulling them out with webbing just before it falls. Swinging low across Times Square, kicking a thug off a speeding motorcycle. Standing on the roof of a subway car as it speeds underground, dodging sparks and tunnels. Slow motion. Spidey leaping off a burning building, catching a falling child mid-air, landing with precision. The city reacts. Crowds look up in shock as the familiar figure swings overhead. Phones rise, capturing blurry videos. A headline spreads across news tickers. Spider-Man returns? The voice of a stunned reporter crackles after years of silence. New York may finally have its hero back. Cut to Peter, mask off, crouched on a rooftop, chest heaving from the fight. He looks down at the city lights glowing below. His eyes fill with both fear and hope. For a brief second, he whispers under his breath, "I'm back." The music swells triumphantly, brass and drums exploding into rhythm, but before the moment can hold, a sudden explosion rips through a skyscraper in the distance. Fire erupts, glass raining onto the streets below. People scream and scatter. Spider-Man's head snaps toward the chaos, a close-up of his eyes, lenses narrowing. He leaps into action, soaring across the skyline, vanishing into the flames. Cut to black. Text fades in slowly. Every choice has consequences. The sound of fire crackles before the image returns. A skyscraper is half in ruins, its top floors engulfed in flames. Civilians pour out into the streets, choking on smoke as fire trucks arrive too late. Amid the chaos, a single figure stands, calmly on a balcony high above, silhouetted against the burning sky. The camera pushes closer. The man steps forward. His face finally revealed. A mountain of a figure, bald head, gleaming under the firelight, eyes sharp and merciless. Wilson Fiskus, the Kingpin. His suit immaculate white fabric untouched by ash. His voice booms like thunder over the chaos. "The city was always mine. Spider-Man was just in the way." Cut to Spider-Man perched across from him on a nearby rooftop. His suit shines faintly, rain dripping from the lenses of his mask. The camera frames them in a tense standoff, the fire blazing between them. Kingpin raises his hand, and suddenly, the streets below erupt with soldiers in tactical gear, armed with experimental weapons. Explosions tear through cars and storefronts. The city falls into panic. The music shifts, pounding drums. Faster and heavier. Montage begins. Spider-Man dives headfirst through falling glass, webs flaring out as he swings across collapsing scaffolding. Close-up, his hands straining against steel cables as he holds two collapsing bridges apart, sweat and rain mixing on his mask. Kingpin slamming Spider-Man against a wall with brute force, concrete cracking under the impact. Peter staggering, mask torn, blood dripping at the edge of his mouth. His determination unbroken. Cut to a quiet beat. Spider-Man crouches on a rooftop, watching the city burn. His chest rises and falls, exhaustion etched into every movement. He looks down at his hands, trembling, then clenches them into fists, close-up of his eyes. Through the shattered lenses, we see the reflection of MJ walking past below, laughing with friends. She doesn't look up. She doesn't remember. The ache cuts deep. But then he turns his gaze back to the chaos. He knows what he has to do. The music shifts again, building into a triumphant but haunting score. Fast montage. Spider-Man swinging at lightning speed between collapsing skyscrapers, catching a bus dangling over a bridge with dozens of lives inside, dodging a barrage of high-tech rockets exploding around him, webbing Kingpin soldiers to walls, disarming weapons in blurs of motion. A brutal shot, Kingpin catching Spider-Man, mid-swing, slamming him into the ground, but Spider-Man flips back up, refusing to stay down. Final emotional beat. Spider-Man, battered and bloodied, stares Kingpin in the eyes. The villain towers over him, fists clenched, ready to end it. But Peter's voice cuts through the storm, quiet but steady. "You can break me, but you'll never break this city." The camera shifts to wide angle. Spider-Man launches himself into battle, swinging directly into Kingpin as the screen erupts into a flurry of motion, fists, webs, fire, destruction. Everything cuts to black. Silence. Then, a single line appears on the screen. "Every day is a brand new day." The music roars back, louder than ever, as the final logo slams into frame. Spider-Man, brand new day, 2026, a final sting. Daredevil's voice, calm and sharp, fades in over black. "You're not fighting alone anymore, Peter." The screen fades out. End of trailer.